Hi friends, now I have the honor today of introducing to you Dr.S Prasanna Ethiraj. He has a rank 5 in this PGI Chandigarh November 2019 exam. It is a great rank and he is a regular batch student from DAMS Chennai. We are really proud of his achievement. So Prasanna, how are you feeling today?
Sir, actually, I'm feeling so happy today, sir.
And when you were preparing, now I want to start off by describing his journey so that you get an idea on how he has gone about things. He joined us in his foundation year in third year in DAMS Madurai, but because of the college schedules and everything, he attended some classes, he missed some
Yes.
classes, and in his first attempt he got a rank of 9000 in the NEET exam. Then he came to Chennai Dams for a regular class program,
Yes, sir.
and this time he did the full regular class in a drop year. In the May aims, he improved to a rank of 2000, and in the November now in PGI, he has gotten a rank 5. Awesome improvement, you
Yes,
know.
sir. Thank you
So,
so much.
the reason I told all this is because I want the future listeners who are listening to us in this interview to understand that it is possible. He went about it, his persistence is paid him the result that now he is in a top 5 rank in PGI Chandigarh. He can take any branch he wants in the Central Institute today.
Yes,
So
sir.
Prasanna, I want to know from you, how did this journey with DAMS go?
Yes, sir. Actually, hello all. I'm Prasanna. I belong to Madurai Medical College from Tamil Nadu. Actually, I joined DAMS through VSAT in my foundation year, but I was not able to attend most of the classes. So I was making some good notes and I missed some of those notes. But the notes I made helped me in my professional exams too. So, but in my internship, I was not able to read so much. Actually, I'll read for the next day rounds to answer questions in next day rounds in medicine. Other than that, I didn't read it much because the internship down south is so hectic. So, like after that, I decided to join DAMS Chennai uh, and follow a regular course.
How was your experience with the regular course now? When you came for the regular course this time, were you happy with the kind of classes, the concept building that happens in the
Sir,
classroom, the
actually,
competition that you get with other people?
yes, sir, when you see like 400 to 500 people sitting in that large hall, then you understand the real competition that is going on, how much people are competing, how much they are working for. So you get an idea. So based on the competition, you can make yourself up. So I have to prepare like this. So I have to compete with this much of students. So you get an idea like that, sir.
And in addition to that, what was your approach in the classes? Like, were you making notes, and were you happy to make notes by understanding the class so that you can
Yes, sir,
revise in the end?
actually we used to write whatever the teacher says. I think it is a good strategy to write everything whenever the teacher says, because when you go and revise your notes, it's the words of the teachers you get you that get reverberates in your ear. So that's notes making is a good habit actually.
And I think in the MBBS curriculum where you have a lot of subjects,
Yes.
it is better to have notes in the end so that you can revise
Yes,
things.
sir.
Yeah.
Actually, during our professional exams, we don't take much of the notes in classes.
Yeah.
We find it difficult to revise all those books also.
Yeah.
So having a good notes helps you in a good revision so that you could get things better.
How many revisions were you able to manage before AIMS or PGI exam this
Sir,
time?
actually, before AIMS, I was able to complete one revision and I was at the start of the second revision.
And in before PGI?
Sir, before PGI, I had completed like in the I was halfway through the second revision, sir.
Okay.
Then I started seeing those previous questions.
Okay. So did you keep that last 1 week before PGI for the previous year papers?
Yeah, sir. Last 1 week, I just saw the previous papers alone.
And I think, if anybody can just scroll through the interviews that we have taken here in this channel, most of the toppers had kept the last 1 week before PGI for previous papers. And that is a excellent strategy to utilize for PGI Chandigarh because of the topic repeats that are possible in this exam.
Yes, sir. Actually, the advantage of seeing the questions is that you need not memorize all the answers of the questions. You just get an idea that what are the important topics that are being repeated, so that you can go back to your notes or whatever the material you study, you can just revise those notes. That's the main use of seeing the past papers, and you also get used to it. Suddenly, you go in the morning and you just take an exam where you have to mark 4 options, you just get fumbled over there. So, seeing the past papers just gives an idea like how the questions can be tough. So how many questions you can attempt directly, how many questions you have to rule out options, then whether you have to be aggressive or not. So it gives an idea. That's
And that idea is of a lot of use in the last 1 week, because you want to feel the paper before you actually attempt it.
yes, sir.
So the feeling of the paper and how it will feel like is already there with you.
Yes, sir.
Now, Prasanna, I also want to know, were you happy with the way doubt solving is addressed in DAMS? Like after the class, that is on the Facebook, teachers would put up
Yes,
a post, discuss the
actually,
doubts.
in face-to-face class, I don't ask much doubts to teachers, but over the club, the DAMS exclusive club is like the best in DAMS, actually, to say. I am not an active participant of the club. I usually don't ask so many doubts in the club, but I used to see all the posts, all the updates the faculties put up in the club. And I also want to thank some of my friends in the club who used to raise up so good doubts. Okay, I'll feel like why I didn't get this doubt while I was reading. So the club was too useful, sir. Actually, the club was best.
Did it feel like an extended classroom where you were interacting and seeing how many or how other center students are doing, asking?
Yes, sir. Actually, the faculties used to put up questions, and they also made video solutions of that questions, which
Yeah.
are put up in the club. That was actually too useful.
Yeah.
Uh,
Did you also use the testing platforms that we have, like the grand test,
Yes, sir.
SWT, class tests?
I used to give grant tests actually, but I was not able to give all of the class tests and subject-wise tests, sir, because there was lack of time.
So how was your experience with the grand tests?
So grant tests were too good, sir. To say there were no like out-of-the-box topics were asked. All the topics were like most repeated topics. In that, you can rule out 2 options, but in the rest of the options you get a confusion. That emphasizes that you should read still more. You should be thorough in the topic. So that's what GTs taught me, sir.
And do you think that is the pattern now that you've seen all 3 exams that
Yes,
you've
sir.
given this year? You've given a lot of papers.
Yes, sir.
Do you think that today in the exam pattern also they are not really asking unusual
Yes, sir.
things?
This time in AIMS, most of the things were the
Usual.
most common
Yeah.
things. So we have to get it right. If we make even 2 to 3 mistakes, and that means it is a costly mistake actually, because most of the people will get it right. So you have to be too good in that.
Do you think that now concept building, learning in the classroom, understanding things has more value than just rote learning some MCQs?
Yes, sir. Memorizing facts may not help you in entrance exams to be openly, but yes, you have to understand concepts, sir. It forms the base, sir.
Because in the real exam you will have to rule out things.
Yes.
Not all questions you will be able to solve directly, although you know the topic, but you need to rule out.
Yes, sir.
That ruling out needs that active understanding.
Yes, sir. Out of 300 questions, only like 100 to 120 questions will be direct questions. The rest of the 100 to 150 questions, you have to rule out options and then come to a final answer. In order to rule out options, you should be like strong with the concepts.
And did you also utilize the DAMS question bank, the DQB?
Yes, sir. I like I am a ticking kind of person, so I like those DQBs much, sir.
Were you happy with the way that DAMS has catered to both the kind of students, that we have a DQB on the app and a
Yes,
DQB in the print section, both available to our regular
yes,
students,
sir.
so that if you're a paper kind of person, you have
Yes,
a
sir.
solution. Were you happy with that?
Yes, sir. I was. It was too good, sir.
So, and so if I put it in a nutshell, that you made classroom as your basics,
Yes,
then
sir.
you had notes,
Yes.
you were always trying to accumulate information from teachers, and then
Yes.
you were trying to solve doubts and see what other people are asking in
Yes,
the
sir.
club, solving doubts, practicing questions from the DQB,
Yes, sir.
giving tests as much as possible.
Yes.
But your top priority test was grand
Grand
test.
tests.
And I believe that that's a very important take home for all future students, that grand tests are the most important thing to be given, because that is how the real paper will be mixed, all subjects together. You have to learn to think on those lines, and so that you do better.
Yes, sir. First of all, after the classes, I thought that I could do the notes and I could do all the question banks, and then I can do subject-wise test and class test. But it was not possible for me. I was able to do the notes and just complete 60 to 70% of the question banks I was able to do. Subject-wise test and grand test, it was too difficult for me to give all those, because the next week the next class commences. So what I thought was, instead of giving subject-wise test and class test at that time, you can give a grand test like once in a month or twice in a month, so that you are exposed to like all the subjects.
And plus, you have still 20 days odd to go for the NEET.
Yes.
So people who are going for NEET, they can utilize their pending test at this
Yes, sir.
point. So because you have done so well, you already have a
Yes, sir.
exit in the November itself,
Yes.
December itself. So other people have 1 month extra to utilize
Yes, sir.
those tests.
During the time of second revision, retrograde study is actually good, sir.
Yeah.
First, you can do subject-wise test. Then you can go back to the notes, because you may get if in a subject-wise test, if there are 75 questions, you may get like 40 correct and 30 wrong. It's okay, but you can go back to the notes and read. But if you just read the notes for 1 week and do a subject-wise test immediately the next day, your marks will be good, but it may give you a pseudo confidence that you are doing good. But actually, long-term memory is just important, sir. So that after doing your first reading, when you start your revision, when you give a class test or a subject-wise test, means you can test how much you retain. So which are the topics you forget easily, which are the topics you have to just go back through the notes, sir.
So, was this your plan that, so now that you have a rank 5, you can take anything from PGI Chandigarh. But suppose you had not gotten through here, this was your plan for the month.
Yes, sir. For the next 20 days, I was planning for giving at least the left out subject wise test,
Yes.
and then revise the notes.
Yeah. So that should be strategy for everybody who's appearing for the NEET exam. Notes revision, pending test. Notes revision, pending test should be top of your line. And Prasanna, did you also utilize the AIMS capsule that we had given for
Sir,
revision?
for AIMS capsule, I saw videos of obstetrics and gynecology and PSM, sir. The rest of the videos I was not able to see actually. But these two subjects were too good.
Were you happy with the quality of revision they could condense in those
Yes,
few
sir.
hours of videos?
Yes, sir. Siddharth sir was actually excellent, sir.
Now that you have also given the PGI exam, some people would want to know that how many did you attempt in this PGI exam?
Sir, approximately it would be around like 500 to 550 options. I just left 6 questions, but 500 to 550 will be a good number.
Okay. And any topics that come to your mind that were more there, like you've given the PGI exam, the AIMS exam. I want you to do two things. Can you compare the topic coverage in PGI versus AIMS for us?
Sir, names, they ask the most common things, sir. The clinical tests are being asked, the catheters, the IV lines. Those are the things that are often asked in AIMS.
Yeah.
But PGI, they go a bit extra edge. They ask, most of the malignancies are being asked in PGI. Regarding radiology, they always ask questions from radioisotopes. And they focus more on medicine and surgery, sir. Nearly you get 30 questions from medicine and 30 from surgery. So they play a major role in PGI.
Yeah. And AIMS has that basic sciences predominance, while in
Yes,
PGI
sir.
you have that biochemistry, pathology, medicine, surgery,
So
obs,
this time
gynae.
there was from biochemistry and molecular biology, there would be around like 20 questions.
Yeah.
So they play a major role. Biochemistry plays a major role in PGI, sir.
So these are very valuable insights for a future aspirant to understand. Any like I want to know from you something more than the theory now, that like you have had a drop year, you had a NEET rank of around 9,000, then you had a mid-year AIMS rank of around 2,000, you had a AIMS rank November this time of around 96,
Yes, sir.
and a PGI rank of 5.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but how did you manage the in between period? There would be periods where you would have no belief on yourself,
Yes, sir.
that maybe I cannot do it. Then how did you manage all this? Because you have been improving.
Yes, sir.
Every 1 month that has passed, you have improved. How
Yes,
did you
sir.
do this?
Sir, first of all, I want to thank my friends for this, sir. Whenever my scores go down, or when the CBT ranks goes down, they used to motivate me. Okay, you can do better. You can move forward. In the next exam, you will do better. Continue to do that, and go to any one of the top institutes in India. So they were like pillars to me, sir. Actually, this kind of motivation you need in life. Whenever you are low, just think that someone wants us to do something. So have that in mind, and whenever you give a grand test, some of the grand tests you may get a good score, some of the grand tests may be a dip. It all depends upon the shuffle of questions actually, sir. Sometimes you get questions sometimes in a grand test there may be questions from areas where you fumble, so you can concentrate more on the test where you get a low score, so that you can further improvise and then just go forward.
Did you analyze any papers for, that these are the subjects which I am not able to score well, and
Yes, sir.
did you work on your weaknesses?
Yes, sir. Initially, I was not scoring well in obstetrics. That was my weaker area, sir. And
Yeah.
I was not actually focusing on short subjects. Then after I gave CBT, I got almost eight questions wrong from dermatology itself, sir.
Hmm.
So then I realized that okay, short subjects are important because
Yeah.
we are too weak in that. So
Any, experience with the CBT test that we have conducted?
yes, sir. The CBT was actually when you attempt the paper, it gives an idea that yeah, the paper is easy because questions are asked from the most repeated topics and the most common topics. Questions are being asked, but when you look at the options, there may be some minor twists and changes. If you don't look carefully, then you try to ignore those twists and just mark blindly. You will mark, and it will be a wrong option. So when the result comes, then only you understand that okay, I have not got that question right because I didn't see this word. So minor twists and changes were there in CBT question papers, sir.
Do you think that is just like the real exam also? Nowadays in real exam also the topics are, the usual
Yes, sir.
topics like the trauma,
Yes,
there
sir.
would be there, but there will be some twists.
Yes, sir. Usual topics are asked, but the options, they keep twisting the options.
Yeah.
So if your notes is good and you just keep reading, you just keep on reading means then it's okay. You can do, sir.
So, and I also want to know that you have given the May exam also,
Yes,
and
sir.
the December exam, or November December exam
Yes, sir.
also. So any comparison would you like to draw between the May exam that you appeared for and the November exam?
Actually,
Any
our
differences?
regular classes started from April 7th, so I was not, I had not even completed like 3 or 4 subjects for May
Okay.
exams. So May exams, I was not able to do most of the questions.
Okay. So do you think that finishing those regular classes had an impact on your improvement?
Yes, sir. Try to finish try to finish your first reading by September 15th or like just before October. Then at least you have to do like
One revision before
one
aims.
revision before aims, sir.
And then
Actually, while doing revision, also some subjects will take. For example, if your first reading was for 5 days, sometimes the first revision will also take 5 days. But don't get low because it happens with every one of us.
yeah.
We feel the same. Okay.
Like how long, like what is the approximate duration of one revision cycle that you envision? Like how many days the entire 19 subjects notes should be revised?
Sir, first reading actually first reading you can do it on your, that depends upon the capacity,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
For example, if a person reads like 18 hours a day, if another person reads like 8 hours a day, means that's actually different. So they have to customize their first reading according to their strength and weaknesses. Then the second reading, 45 days is a good days for
Yeah.
second reading, sir.
Yeah. And then the next reading would be even faster.
Yes, sir.
So an average of around 30 days in an average, you can actually look at all subjects, and that will help you to plan your multiple revisions.
Yes, sir.
And so if you had to give NEET exam, then you had planned one more revision before NEET
Yes, sir.
also, so that you had 3 revisions in
Yes, sir.
place before NEET.
Yes, sir.
Right? That's a good strategy that you had. And with now that when you look back, when you have these excellent results and improvement happening, everything happening, do you feel that the topics that the teachers had taught, the topics that teachers had selected in the test, in the
Yes, sir.
grand test, they were all appropriate?
Yes, sir. Uh, to be frank, the questions asked in the grand test, the topics will always be repeated in all the exams. You have to just be thorough with the tests, and if you get a low marks means, then you can use video solutions also. So you can see the videos and you can get your concepts clear.
And I think, like many people ask, sir, how should I utilize video solutions? So my answer is, if you have time, listen to all of them. If you have less time, at least listen to the video solutions of the questions that you have left.
Yes.
So that, because if you leave a question, that means you had no idea about it. So that definitely you should listen to the teacher, and anything that you're doing wrong, if you can at least do this much, you will improve.
Yeah.
And this should be based on your planning of your time. So if you are in April, March, you have time, you should listen to all video solutions, because even if you think you have done it right, you may not have understood it. Listening to a teacher in the video solution is a good idea to utilize grand tests.
Yes.
And Prasanna, I want to know from you, any teachers that you remember today?
So actually, I am a fan of Anupama ma'am. Physiology classes are too good. We enjoyed your classes, sir.
Thank you.
And I like Anil Machandani sir's obstetrics class and JP sir.
Yeah.
And Sandeep Sharma sir for his posts on PGI. If a person is aiming for PGI, then he has to see the post put up by Sandeep Sharma sir and all his strategy videos for PGI and JIPMA. That's quite important, sir.
And you've also given the JIPMER exam now?
Yes, sir.
Any particular comments on how the JIPMER exam was?
Sir, actually I made a few silly mistakes in JIPMER exam, so let's see.
But what about the paper in general? Like how was the paper like this time? I think even in JIPMER there were questions. The number of tough questions or the bouncer questions was less.
Yes, sir. This time the number of tough questions were less, but in some of the questions the options were twisted, sir. So you have to see them carefully and then you have marked.
Yeah, but that is okay. But sometimes in JIPMER, you have questions where you have no idea about the entire topic at all.
Yes,
this time, I think all three papers that we have seen were all good quality papers. They have asked the quality topics, like the questions that should be asked. Like, like any now can you give me a comparison on how many questions did you attempt in JIPMER exam?
So JIPMER I left 16 questions I left, sir.
And how many did you attempt in AIMS exam?
Sir, AIMS I attempted everything, sir.
Everything. Okay. So that the reason I asked is so that everybody can get an idea on his strategy for the day of the exam. He's already given you a revision strategy, how did he went about revision, and his first go strategy. Now, Prasanna, I also want to know what branch are you looking forward to take?
Sir, I am planning to take general medicine.
I'm sure you will get general medicine at this rank in PGI definitely, and I'm sure we will have another interview by you in the coming times for a DM entrance exam also, and I'm sure you will rock and shine. I want to take this moment to congratulate you on behalf of entire DAMS family and the entire Chennai DAMS team, where you have been a regular classroom student. We are really, really proud of your achievement.
And I want to thank my parents first of all, my professors and assistant professors of Madurai Medical College, my postgraduates who have taught me a lot during my internship, all the faculties and DAMS, and a special thanks to all my friends, sir. Actually, we have a pack of 30 guys. They were my constant motivation, so a special thanks to them, and thanks to Legend Runs 13, my batch of Madurai Medical College.
And I would like to add here, friends, family, teachers.
Yes, sir.
They put together, they are invisible part of this journey. And in every topper journey, I see this common thing, friends, family, teachers, they are all invisibly supporting you somewhere other. And then, we see one person, but the success is collective actually. On this note, I would like to congratulate your parents.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Say my hello to all of your friends.
Yes, sir.
And I wish you all the best for your future. Heartiest congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.